Okay guys, in front of me, which I'll show you in a second, are some jalapenos that we harvested. And I like to eat Mexican food, and one of the things I like to do is eat these sliced jalapenos from the store. And I don't remember how much they cost, but let's try one of these. Oh, love it. Delicious. But did you know you can make these at home? Now, I looked at the serving size on here and it's only 6 jalapenos, and there's almost 200 milligrams of sodium, which is 190 approximately. And I probably eat too many of these things. But if you make them at home, you can decrease the salt somewhat. And that's what we're going to do today. And my wife's going to be the lead chef in this project. So, how many jalapenos did you say we have in the garden?
We have 4 plants, jalapenos, and 2 of serrano.
The jalapenos are full again and need to be picked, but I just want to show you what I've chopped up. And I've chopped up the jalapenos a little thicker than what they are in the store. I think I have about 1/3 of an inch thickness, and that's how I like them. So this is a rather simple process. What do we need to have?
Well, you need best to have fresh jalapenos picked that day. Of course, if you process your fruits and vegetables the day you pick them, the flavor will be much better once you eat them, once you open up the canned goods.
And what else?
We also need white vinegar, which is what the blue book calls for, white vinegar.
What's up with the carrots?
And we love the taste of pickled carrots. My daughters and Gary and I, we love the taste of the pickled carrots, and they really add an extra little flavor to the canned jalapenos.
And I know these jalapenos are good because I'm already sweating. Okay, anything else?
We also found out that if we add calcium, because we add less salt, we need to add some calcium chloride to the
Which is a salt.
to the mixture, and that helps the peppers stay crisp. So we don't like them to be so soggy, so we add the calcium chloride, and that helps them be a little more crisp.
Now this is a little easier to do than when we did the green beans, because since the vinegar is in it, it's an acid mixture, and we can use what's called a hot water bath. And the processing is how long for that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So as opposed to what, 20 minutes for the other one?
Yes.
I think it was 20 minutes. I think it was 20 minutes with 10 pounds of pressure, and it takes a little bit of time for it to build up to that pressure. So this should be a much faster thing.
Yeah.
So
and we're going to do what's called a cold pack. So we're not cooking the jalapenos before we put them in. We're going with the brine, or the vinegar mixture, is very hot. There's also garlic in it too. So there's garlic. You put the garlic in the brine when you're actually warming it up, and then we will not pre-cook the peppers or the carrots. They'll actually cook during the canning process.
So you put the garlic in with the brine, right?
Yes.
And we'll put a recipe on the screen. And so you start getting that together, and I'm gonna, of course, whenever you start doing things like this, you want to wash your hands, and when you are cutting up your peppers, it's a really good idea to wear gloves. And if you get a hole in them, then you might want to replace those gloves, because you can get a chemical burn if you're processing the same peppers. So let's get going. First, Jess is going to start putting in the carrots.
Put in at least 3 carrots to start with, 3 slices of carrots. We've sliced these into kind of like quarter shapes, and so 3 of them. I like to put them in the bottom first, because then I pack the peppers on top. I don't know, it's just what we do. And
I thought you weren't going to do the middle one.
oh, I'm not going to. You're right, I'm not going to do the middle one.
So the middle one, again, is going to be in there to stabilize the glass jars. We're not sure we have enough vinegar for 7 pints. So, and it's kind of late that we're doing this, so I can't run out and get any.
So now I have extra carrots, so I'm going to put a little bit more in each one, because you can put as many as you want. You can do half and half, actually, if you wanted to. But we're going to put a few more in each jar. So we filled the jars, both with the peppers, and then we poured on the vinegar and water and salt solution. And now now we're going to clean the lids of the jars so that the caps stick. And now we're going to put the caps on. When you put the caps on, you give it a 1.5 Now it fits, and then one more tightness, just so that it's snug. That allows the air to escape from the jars.
Because we're trying to create a vacuum in there, right?
Yeah, and then
Now, in the past, we used to heat those in hot water before we put the lids on. What happened there?
I think the technology on the lids changed. I think they're more, I don't want to say meltable, but different formula for the inside, for this part of the cap. The part that's actually going to adhere to the jar. So put it on, screw it, it's tight now. Now another turn, make it snug. Now these lids are what I call bouncy right now. See those bouncy? When the vacuum actually forms, it'll be concave.
I think so.
Yeah.
In other words, it's going to move inward, and it shouldn't bounce up and down anymore.
So these
If it does, you don't have a good seal. You can't process it again. So just put them in the refrigerator and use them.
And the rings are on. And now we're going to go ahead and move this tray to the canner. Always be careful. Open the lid away from you. Obviously, the steaming, boiling hot. Picture the inside of it. Water should be 1 to 2 inches above the jars. We are ready to go. We have a little bit of garlic floating on the top from what was on the outside of the jars, and the air bubbles are already coming out of the peppers. So now we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes because the water is definitely boiling. When you add the cooler jars, it does slow it down just a little bit, but we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and eventually we'll have to turn this down because it's going to get too hot, and we want it just to be boiling, but not a rolling boil. 10-minute processing time is up. We're going to go ahead and turn off the flame, open it safely away from me, and then we're going to pull the basket up. And this rack is actually useful to cool the jars also. If you need to use it again right away, you might want to take the jars out, but these jars need to cool until all the lids pop down.
Here's the results of our work, both our peppers and what we did previously, our green beans in the background. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and this is Gary. See you in the next video.